what is going on here? I don't remember gaming chairs being this serious or being this premium. And I told the market person, like, I don't think I have a lot of space, but they showed me the chair and I was like, okay, that looks different than a lot of the gaming chairs I've seen. For the money, you're getting some features that you see on super high-end office chairs and also some stuff that you don't see on high-end office chairs. So we're going to talk about the AutoFull M6 gaming chair. I was impressed enough to agree to make a video. Let's put it that way. So if you're not familiar with AutoFull, I'll give you a really quick rundown on them and then we'll get back to the chair. AutoFull is a professional esports peripheral company. I'm reading from the little thing here. They were founded in 2014 and they make esports chairs, tables, and cabins. When they're making their equipment, they bring in esports players, anchors, and different things like that and take their feedback and put that into the products. So they've participated in nearly 2,000 events. So they're getting out there. All right, let's talk about what's really unique about this chair right off the bat. Now, it is extremely premium. This felt like some of the best office chairs that I've messed around with. It's leather, it's steel, it's heavy duty, but there's a few different extras that kind of make it above and beyond and made me be like, really? So let's talk about those. Now in the seat, you'll see there's a couple different buttons there. One looks like a fan and one looks like a heating element, and that's exactly what they are. You have heated cushions and we have 3 levels of heat and they get pretty warm. Now normally it's around 25, 26 degrees Celsius in my place. Of course the service is going to be different depending on the heat that's in your house or in your apartment, how much light's coming through the window. But yeah, 20, 30 degrees upgrade. Then we also have 2 fans and those are right there in the seat. So I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I'm blowing some nice cool air. This is nice because we have that leather and it's perforated so that it breathes. On top of that, we have a couple different fans. So look at that tissue fly around and trying to get away. So that's like the main thing that kind of sets this apart is like they gone a little bit above and beyond with putting the fans and everything in there. In order to power that, there's USB on the back. Plug it up to like a power bank or something. I did, and the fans will run for a pretty long time on that. If you want to go for 18 hours, maybe I'll just swap out a power bank, but probably not. You have a nice pocket there, and that's going to be great for, you store your controllers back there if you want to. It's big enough for a couple controllers, but you can also put your battery pack in there. And then when you're not using your battery pack, your USB, well, the bottom has some Velcro and you can just pull the Velcro and put the USB, just feed it up in there. It'll be just fine. Building this, I would recommend doing it with 2 people, but I was able to do it pretty quickly. It took me about 20 minutes by myself to build this. And one of the things I really like is a lot of times you get a box and it has a gazillion different screws in it. Well, they have put the screws into the chair already. At first I was like, would I have to take it apart so I could put it together? But then I was like, oh, this is so much better because now there's no guesswork when it comes to, what screw goes where. So that made things very easy. The screws are already there and, there's a couple extra screws in the box. Very easy to tell what goes where because it's already there. It was not very difficult to build. Everything feels heavy duty and premium. Follow the instructions, and if you have any trouble, there's a QR code that you scan and it brings you to a video where you can see someone doing it. All right, let's look at the next unique feature, and that is the lumbar support. So we have a little lumbar cushion right there, and it's floating. It has 4 different adjustments, so it can go a little bit forward or a little bit back, and there's a lever on the side. You pull the lever, and then that will release the lumbar support cushion so that you can let it go up and back. I like it on the second one myself because I don't like the lumbar support to be too shoving into my back, but if you need that extra lumbar support to keep you pert and alert, well, by all means. And then once you close the lever on the side, it will lock it into place so it doesn't go anywhere. Now there's also a little turny thing right there. So that knob inside of the lumbar support, there is an arched, a little arched thing that will move up and down. It's like on a chain, and the arched portion, it's like a extra firm support, we'll call it. It moves up and down inside the lumbar cushion so that you can position the lumbar support exactly where you need it to keep your spine in order, your L2 and L3. Yeah, I gotta worry about those, maybe your L4. So that has 50 millimeters of up and down adjustment. Now the lumbar cushion itself, it has 100 millimeters of movement with 4 different areas that it can stop in. All right, let's talk about these armrests, because these armrests, I've seen just about the exact same thing on some super expensive premium office chairs. They're wide and you can position them just about any way you like. They call them 6D armrests. So you've got an incline that you can enable by squeezing a little knob on the front or a little lever on the front. And then you can lift it up 40 degrees. And this is great if you're sitting there on your phone playing a mobile game, or you just want to sit there and hold a controller. It'll keep your arms up in this position. It's very comfortable. Depending on what you're doing, I kind of like them a little bit up like that. And then we have rotation. So rotation, 70 degrees. You can angle it in or angle it out, get it wherever it's comfortable. We have 3.15 inches when it comes to vertical movement. So slide them up and down, find the right spot for that. Then you can move them forward 1.18 inches. You can slide them forward a little bit. Then we have horizontal movement. Slide them out, like get them positioned exactly where you like them, 0.79 inches. Not a terrible amount, but that actually helps a lot. You can position these things like crazy. Now they're very firm. They're not like super cushy or anything like that. And that's, in my opinion, fine. I think that they're going to be more durable this way. I also like the fact that they're really nice and wide, so they do provide a lot of support. All right, one of the things I want to say about the shape of most gaming chairs, a lot of times they go for that, like race car aesthetic or that racing chair aesthetic, and that means that they have these wings on the side or these side cushions that kind of squeeze and they don't feel good. This one has a very mild version of that that's actually comfortable in my opinion, because they're not too severe and it's a nice wide back, so it does hold you in place. And once you also adjust the floating lumbar support to the spot where you want it to be in, well, then it all kind of just goes together and fits into a nice spot. So I actually don't have any problem with the shape of the chair, which I normally do with gaming chairs. They normally feel really awful. And for reference, look at the size of me. I'm 6'3", weigh a little over 200 pounds. My pants are like 36. I wear 38 if I want to be nice and comfy and have it baggy, but yeah, that's what size I am, so I'm bigger than most people. Fits small people too. All right, speaking of the backrest, well, yeah, you can recline it 160 degrees. It goes almost all the way back. You can like lay it way back. And there's a cushion that you can slip on the top as well. It comes with an extra cushion. You can use it with or without if you want the neck cushion, whatever. I'm usually not one to use neck cushions because I never lean my head back, but if this is something you want, you can probably sleep in this chair. And speaking of sleeping in this chair, well, there's also a footrest that slides out. It's actually extremely smooth. When I was putting it together, I didn't realize how smooth it was going to be. The first time I slid it out, I was like, that's like buttery smooth. Found that with a lot of the things on this. They feel pretty buttery smooth, but paying for a premium product, are you getting buttery smooth, leg rest? So it folds out and then flips over. So that you can put your legs up while you're chilling. It's not a lot of adjustment other than front and back for that. It doesn't like go up and down or anything. So, this is not a lazy boy. This is a gaming chair. Let's talk about the other pieces here and their quality. So we've got a really heavy duty base, and this thing snapped together really well. It is sturdy. You can jump up and down on this. The base is not going anywhere. And then the wheels themselves, I sat down and rolled across the floor, and I was like, again, why does this feel so smooth? It's kind of weird coming from another chair. It feels extra smooth. So we have some very soft polyurethane wheels that are also extremely silent, and they glide. I mean, they really do glide. It's so super smooth. I haven't experienced wheels this smooth, so I'm a little bit like, what's going on here? Okay, I want to talk about the leather on this because it's really soft, but it's also porous. It gives it a good look. I mean, it's a really cool look, but it also allows it to breathe. And that's really important when you're dealing with a big leather chair. If it's a warm day and you're just lounging in a leather chair, it can start to stick to you with stuff. This stuff did not stick to me. They say on average it stays about 3 degrees Celsius cooler, which is 5 or 6 degrees Fahrenheit cooler when you compare it to just regular leather. The maximum weight is 396 pounds. The chair itself weighs 77 pounds. Now there's a couple different versions that you can get here. You can get the Pro, the Elite, or the Basic. And the main difference is that the Pro has the ventilation and the heated function. If you live in a place that you're comfortable all the time and you don't need that, well, you can save a little bit of money and go with the Elite that does not have the fans or the heating in the chair. Save $100 there if you are up for that. And then if you still want to have basically the same chair, but you don't care about all the adjustments in the armrest, you can get the basic version, and that just has a 3D mechanical armrest as opposed to the 6D mechanical armrest, which I really like these ridiculous over-the-top armrests. I kind of wish that I had them on my other chair. Now, speaking of other chairs, I normally sit in a Criterion chair from Steelcase. The AutoFull is a bigger chair. It has much more cushion. So I had to I sat down and I was like, why does my butt not hurt? Isn't that something you find yourself saying frequently? But I will say that the Criterion, I like the small chair. I'm kind of a small chair person. I don't really do big chairs. So I do like it for that. And also it supports my back in the correct way. That's why I've always used a steel case Criterion. I bought mine. They're like $300 used. I got mine used somewhere. I forgot how much I paid. I bought a few of them. But this one's definitely more comfortable. Will I switch to it? I don't know. I keep going back and forth. So do I like the small size or the comfort factor on the Auto? It's just a big chair and I've got a small place. So, and I'm also moving soon. It's like if I wasn't moving, I'd probably just go with it. But that's the thing that you have to like think about when you're looking at this. It is a good sized chair. You do need a good chair, right? I mean, stop using garbage chairs that are going to hurt your back. You need the lumbar support. Let's face it, we're not getting any younger here. So make sure you got a chair that's got the good lumbar support. You know, make sure you got a chair that you can position in exactly the right way to make you feel good, which this one has all kinds of different adjustments to make sure that you can like be in the right spot where you're not going to hurt your back and not going to hurt your legs or anything like that. And then having the extra cushion on the bottom does help. So right now my cushion on the chair that I have, the Criterion, it's a very thin cushion and I feel it quite a bit. Like when I'm sitting there for a while, I'm like, I end up getting up and walking around a lot more when I'm using that chair, because after a while I'm like, all right, time to get up and move around. With this one, I don't have that problem anymore. So to sum it up, this is the most premium gaming chair that I have seen, and I'm not saying that just because they, you know, sponsored the video. I would not say that unless it was, and this is the most premium gaming chair that I have seen. This is getting to the point where it's taking like the best features from the best office chairs and then putting it into a gaming chair with all the features that you get from that, and then there you go. You've got like this chair that we use, you know, 12, how many hours you sit in a day? 12 hours? Think about it that way. This is an investment, but you're sitting all day long, so you want to make sure you have a good chair. All the links for this are going to be in the description. If we have any sales or anything like that, I'll put all that down there too. Let me know what you think of this AutoFull M6. Is it overkill? Or is it just the right amount of kill? See you in the comments.